The Legend of Zelda series has long entranced gamers since its NES beginnings. The level of detail Nintendo adds to the world, in addition to masterful gameplay and puzzle design, keeps players coming back time and time again. Without further ado, here are the best Legend of Zelda games to ever grace our screens. Back in 2004, the publisher of Devil May Cry, Resident Evil, and Mega Man, Capcom, decided to develop a new game in the Legend of Zelda series. While it may sound strange to offload development of such a critical franchise for Nintendo, Capcom's efforts were ultimately a success. The Legend of Zelda The Minish Cap has an outstanding 89% Metacritic rating, with G4 TV even stating at the time, "It's an excellent and faithful Zelda game, and one of the best Game Boy Advance games to date." It also introduced the villain Vaati, steering a refreshing change from the usual Ganondorf-focused storyline.
Ready to lose, Santa?
I was playing Zelda before you were born,
You
kid.
remember what you have to do if I win, right?
Oh, yeah.
Continuing with the Game Boy Advance trend, The Legend of Zelda 4 Swords Adventure, originally released in 2004, actually used the handheld as controllers while the game was played on a GameCube. Ever since the game's release, it's been lauded by fans for its thrilling co-op gameplay and excellently crafted puzzles. In their Metacritic review, Silicon Era said, "This game is easy to learn, innovative, and can appeal to people of all ages." Further, the use of GBA connectivity and all of the extra minigames just fill this game to the brim with replay value. In fact, it's been so popular since its release that an anniversary edition launched on the 3DS back in 2014. Maybe Nintendo should release this co-op title on the Nintendo Switch, as Square Enix did with Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, but this time with online connectivity.
Rematch?
The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword is probably the most controversial game in the series for fans. While it excels with its puzzle mechanics, returning to the same areas over and over again grew tiresome for some players of this late Wii title. Others didn't enjoy the motion controls, but luckily with the recent Nintendo Switch port, these are now optional. The earliest game in the Legend of Zelda canon does have a lot of benefits, however. Players have praised it for the best depiction of Link and Zelda, who have great story moments together. Additionally, the watercolor-like art style also makes Skyward Sword look unique and beautiful for some. Plus, who doesn't love riding around in the Loftwings among the clouds of Hyrule? A Link to the Past from Super Nintendo era is heralded as a timeless classic by many Legend of Zelda fans, and they're right to do so. Despite the lack of pixels, this treasured SNES game is packed with personality and color. Moreover, the dungeons were designed intricately, and the storytelling kept Zelda fans compelled from start to finish. In their review, Nintendo World Report called the game a flawless masterpiece, as it provided a more linear framework for the players to explore, and a better interface and controls. In short, A Link to the Past is the reason why The Legend of Zelda still exists on modern platforms, as the formula shifted to a more linear, mainstream experience.
Did you see the latest Nintendo newsletter?
Whoa, nice graphics. I'd like to get my hands on that game.
You mean you haven't played it yet? We can play it on my Nintendo Entertainment System.
But none of the best Legend of Zelda games would exist without the NES original. Originally released in 1986, The Legend of Zelda ignited the imagination of players around the world as you triumph over great bosses, discover new areas, and save the princess from a certain doom. While some of the mechanics can be a little cryptic, like having to use a bomb in a certain area to get to the next objective, The Legend of Zelda is timeless for its tight gameplay mechanics, as well as an array of well-crafted puzzles. This is the game that started it all.